And also our weak side has to do a better job of containing the ball. And we want our guards to feel comfortable in attacking and making plays.
We were talking to Jason about the small ball lineup, and he was kind of saying all we have to do is execute defensively. But what is required a little bit differently from Jason and Keith when they're on a guy like Muscala as opposed to obviously a guy like Howard?
Yeah, well, Muscala is one of the guys that he slips the screen, so we have to be cognizant of that action that he brings to their team. And then he's the three-point shooter. It doesn't take a lot of them, but he can make threes. And like anybody, if you make one or two, you feel confident, and you take three or four others. But we have to be able to recognize who we're guarding in a game-time situation and be able to execute our defensive coverages. And for the most part, we've done a good job on Ilyasova and Muscala of keeping their three-point shooting out of the game.
Scott, during the regular season, sometimes you would bridge the end of the first quarter with John and Jennings, sometimes with Brad and Jennings. Last game it was John and Jennings. What goes into who you decide to keep out there with Brandon and when you do that?
Yeah, it's a gut feeling I have. Sometimes it works, and sometimes I'm kicking myself in the butt after the game. But you have to make a decision on one of them, and a lot of it's game situation. Who's hot? Who needs a break? Who are you guarding on the defensive end? You might have to do extra work defensively if a guy is one of their focal players. But yeah, I try to make the correct decision on that substitution. But I am comfortable with Brandon playing with either one, so that makes it easy on that side. But I just have to also find some better offense that we can execute with Brandon and John, because they both like to have the ball in their hands. So we're working on some things today, so hopefully we can do tomorrow.
So going forward in the series, you're not set on that?
No,
always being Brandon and John?
No, I'm not set at all. It can fluctuate game to game, half to half, and I've done it where going into the game I'm thinking one way, and I don't do it in the game. So it's more of a gut feel, and then it can change in the second half.
Scott, Otto's three-point percentage has been off since the All-Star break, and this series has not gotten going yet. When you see the flow for him out there, and it was had some injuries, are you liking what you're seeing? It just hasn't opportunities have maybe has been there, or is there something else that's kind of going on?
Well, there's certain things that we want to take out of their team, and I'm sure Otto is a priority that they don't want to give a lot of good looks to him, and we don't mind that because we have some other options that we can go to, as long as he's being guarded. If he's not being guarded and we're not passing the balls, then we got to figure out some ways to make sure we can give him good looks. But a lot of times when you're a good shooter like Otto is, they're not going to leave you open. By you being out there, you create so many opportunities for our guys to penetrate and draw and kick, and our bigs to receive a lot of drop-off passes, because they're not going to relax off of Otto. But Otto, I tell you what, he's been really good both games of making winning basketball plays, and a lot of times when you have a guy that can shoot the ball so well like him, and it's an asset to have a guy that can do that, plus also make winning defensive plays like he does.
Did your daughter contact you about the technical?
Oh, she's quick on the text. That's what they do, right? I've been called a knucklehead many times by her.
Does she get something when that happens to you? Is that like how?
No, but don't bring that up. I'm sure she has a little. She can scam me easily. She has me hooked.
Well, Coach, when you do pick up a technical in a game and you're upset with the refs, is that something you're aware of before you do what you normally do to prevent getting a second one, or?
Yeah, I mean.
How's that work?
I'm more upset because I'm going to receive that text more so than anything. But certain times I try to do a good job of controlling my emotions, and sometimes I let it go over. And there's times I deserve it, there's times I don't, and that's part of it. I have a lot of respect for their job, and they know that, and I just have to do a better job of controlling it. And as a team, I think really like the last 4 or 5 games of the season, plus the playoffs, we've done a great job just playing basketball. 'Cause that's all we have to do. It's basketball. You have to focus on playing basketball, not worry about the calls going your way or not your way. It's not, nothing's calculated on their part.
I was told by a source, which I won't name, said that you did not utter any of the magic words to prompt a technical. Is that true?
Who was your source first?
I can't tell you that. The source said you did not say any of the magic words that would
An
prompt a
unnamed
technical.
source. I always try to figure out that guy or girl. No, but I was complaining. I was complaining. I got to do better.
So complaining prompts technicals now, I believe. Is that what you're saying? Without using any of the words that people would deem as disparaging or...
Next play. Next play. Move on.
Coach, do you remember how many times have you been ejected as a coach? Do you remember?
Not one time.
Not one time.
Not one time in the NBA. One time in the minor league.
Did you deserve that one?
Absolutely. I'm just surprised I didn't get physical. But no, I deserved it.
Coach, you talked about how tricky it was to coach the last game because of all the foul trouble and some of the matchups. Was it one of the trickier ones this year, you think? It seemed like it might have been.
Yes, because we had a lot of guys with a quick 2, so you have to make some decisions in that first half. And we had a lot of guys with a quick 4 in that second half, so we have to figure out. And then when you put them in, and then we had, Keith with the 5th one, and then when do we put them back in? So you're going to go through games like that. You just have to figure it out. And unfortunately, it was in a playoff game, but fortunately it worked out for us. But we have to do a better job of keeping them off the free throw line. They've taken a lot of free throws.
It looked like you guys did a better job than when they first hit you with Millsap at the 5. Because it would cut some of you guys off guard. I think March was a matchup, and then you went into the fourth quarter, and he did all the right things against him. Is that something that caught you guys off guard? Where you did
No,
right,
I
or do
mean,
you feel
I think we were prepared because they played enough with him at the 5, with Howard out of the game, and a lot of times that happens. That's what they want to do. So we were prepared for it if it did happen in this series, and it has. I feel very comfortable with any of our bigs guarding Millsap, and not saying that we're going to be able to stop him because he's such a great player, an all-star player. But we just want to make sure that they're not easy looks, and he hasn't got easy looks. He got to the free throw line a lot last game, but they're not easy looks. And he's one of the guys that can make tough shots, and he has. He made a tough shot on March in that first half, left side of the floor, but he's good enough to make those shots.
The game was really decided on Wall and Beal making so many clutch plays in the last 5 minutes of the game, and they've been one of the top 2 players in the league in those situations. Is that something that you practice all year? How have you seen that evolved, or right sets, or how that has come about?
I think when you have shot makers on the floor, and your decision makers have to make the right decision, and John has done a great job with that. There's times when he's taken the shots, there's times when he's passed the shots. You can go down the season. Otto's made big shots. Marge has made big layups. Brad has obviously made them. Otto and Keith has made a couple of big shots during this stretch. But you have to be able to make the right decision, and sometimes it's going to be your shot, sometimes it's the pass.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot,
See you
Coach.
guys.